Welcome to the Journey Girl Magic Podcast. I am Nikita Burks-Hill, life coach and your personal journey guide. This podcast is for the wanderers, the doers, and action takers. I'm here to empower women and women of color to live their best lives by showing up, being vulnerable, practicing gratitude, being a badass, and most importantly, enjoying the ride. This imperfect podcast is for you as you live your life and become the best version of yourself. So let's journey together. Let's get started. Hey everyone, it's Nikita, and welcome to another episode of the Journey Girl Magic Podcast. Now today, we're going to be journeying through part 2 of our Laying Out Your Roadmap series. Now if you recall, last week, we journeyed through figuring out where you are going. So this week, our focus will be on why you are going there. And I believe that this word is one of the most underutilized words. Why? I can recall when I was little and I went through that stage, that stage where you question everything. Why is the sky blue? Why do I have a bedtime? Why do I have to eat my vegetables? My poor mom. But that is a very important question. They all are, especially to a 7-year-old. Especially if you've never taken the time to stop and ask yourself them. So today, let's journey through why. Now I can probably guess what your reaction may be. Why are we doing this? See, your journey has already begun. So here are 3 reasons why you should always ask why. Number 1, it gives clarity. When you are asked why repeatedly over and over, you have no choice but to get clear, to remove all of the noble obstacles, the self-limiting beliefs, and the excuses. You will know exactly what is important to you and how to achieve it. Simply put, it removes all the bullshit. Real talk. The BS we tell ourselves and others. As adults, I feel like we don't question enough. We don't get curious enough. We don't speak up and ask why or go against the status quo. We have to challenge ourselves. We have to challenge others. Get curious. Ask questions. Demand answers. Why is a necessary and vital part of life. Asking why holds ourselves and others accountable. It forces them to stop and pause, consider the answer, consider the repercussions of their answer, and then moving forward. Why? Why was this action taken? Why did you decide to do this? Why are things hard? What is your role in it? Why? Again, this is a very important question and one of the most underutilized ones. So, I want to ask you, why? There is no greater feeling than having a clear idea of where you are going and why you are going there. Everything just runs smoother and you feel better. Number 2, it keeps you focused. Similar to the clarity and direction, asking yourself why keeps you focused. Getting clear is only the first step. And from there, it's just as important and perhaps even more difficult to stay focused. Your why should answer those questions that are always swirling around in your head. The ones when you get thrown off track and you're not quite sure if this is what you should be doing. The why should quiet that noise. Noise of other people's opinions, distractions, anything that could cause you to stray and not stay in your lane. Because when you begin to stray, asking yourself why will refocus you and allow you to realign. And realignment is key. Our focus is often pulled in so many different directions. And so if we have something that we can hone in on and we know clearly what that answer is, what that why is, then nothing can throw us off track. We know exactly where we're going, why we're going there, and are ready to take the steps to make it happen. I can recall a time a few years ago when I was training for my very first 5K. I started in January and stuck to a running plan for 4 months. I got up almost every day at 5 a.m. and ran. I did my exercises, I ran some, I walked some, and I gradually ran longer and farther. But I was focused. Even on the days when it rained and I couldn't run, I knew and I developed a plan of how I would make up for that day or what I could do differently. Could I later on that evening fit a run in? Could I get up the next day and run a little bit further than I would have originally? When you're focused, you're going to do the work. You're going to figure out what works best and how you can continue to move forward. I was focused. I was determined that I was going to run that race and finish. Not necessarily finish first, but simply finished. And you know what? My focus and my clarity paid off. And I did. I ran that race. I ran and completed my 5K. And it felt so good because I had my why. I wanted to do it because my physical health was important to me. I wanted to do it because I needed to challenge myself. And I wanted to see if I could do it. And I did. And I did it pretty damn well. Number 3, it aligns your priorities. When you have to figure out why, it allows you to prioritize. Your brain or the people around you can make you believe that you want one thing, but asking yourself why will bring the actual priorities into light. Let me give you an example. Before I found my home in personal development, health and wellness was very important to me, specifically massage therapy. I attended massage therapy school while working a full-time job and graduated at the top of my class. Now, while in school, I quickly bonded and became friends with a fellow classmate. I remember asking her one day why she chose massage therapy, and she said simply because she wants to make more money with the least amount of work. Now, I was shocked, but I said, okay, hey, do you? We all have our reasons. Fast forward 7 months later, and we are in the last 3 months of the program, where we're having tests every week and preparing for our clinicals. I remember all of us going out to eat after a long study session, and my friend saying that she thinks she's going to drop out. Now, when I asked her why, she said because this is not what she signed up for, that it was too hard. And I remember telling her that it was hard because her why was not strong enough. Wanting to make money was not enough. It wasn't going to keep her going. And so I asked her to really think about why she wanted to pursue massage therapy. And if she couldn't think of a reason that was right and that felt good, then maybe this was not the right profession for her. So she stuck it out, and on the day of our graduation as valedictorian, she told us the story of her grandmother being diagnosed with cancer, and her remembering that the only time that her grandmother would smile while she was going through chemo was when she would massage her hands. This is why she decided to pursue massage therapy, and I believe that this is the reason why she is still practicing today. You see, figuring out your why removes all of the guesswork. It removes the doubt, for the most part, and makes things crystal clear. So now let's figure out our why. Where are you going? We talked about this last week. And what did you come up with? Now, write down 10 reasons why. A minimum of 10. If you have more than 10, great. The more, the better. I want you to get it all out of your head and onto that paper. And once you've done that, we're going to start honing in on those reasons. As you're looking at those 10 or more reasons, I want you to ask yourself the following. Which of these whys enhance other people's lives? Underline those. Which of these whys will get you through the hardest, most toughest day where you feel like quitting at every single second? Put a star next to those. Which of these whys bring you the most joy? Circle those. Which of these whys could stand the test of time and still be your why 10 years from now? Highlight that one. Now look over your list, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and open your eyes and choose your most important why. Which one feels good and fits? I recently did this exercise, and here are some of the whys that I came up with. Because everyone should have a voice. Because no one else can do this like I can. Because it brings me joy. Because I am creating a legacy for my son. Because people matter. Because it lights a fire inside of me. Because I could do this every day for free. Because I've never felt more alive than I do right now. Because this is the toughest thing I have ever done. Because this is my destiny. These whys are what is going to keep you on track. These whys are what's going to keep me on track. These whys are what are going to keep me going when things get tough. These whys are going to be my reminder when I forget. These whys are important. These whys are vital. So where are you going? And what is your why? Head on over to our free private Facebook group, Journey Girl Magic, and share. There's some really good stuff going on in there. I'm showing up more. I'm doing weekly Facebook Lives, and we are all doing the work. Now, we are 2 weeks into this series, and next week, we'll finish up with developing a plan of how we're going to get where we are going, incorporating our why. So I hope you found value in today's episode, and that you have a meaningful week full of whys and light bulb moments. So until next week, happy journeying, y'all. Thank you for listening to today's podcast episode. I'm so appreciative and grateful for your time and your listening ear. Show notes for this episode can be found at journeygirlmagic.com/podcasts and by clicking on today's episode. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to the Journey Girl Magic podcast to be the first to know when a new episode becomes available. You can also leave a review and let me know how this podcast is helping you on your journey. I read them all. I look forward to journeying with you next week, and remember, it's your journey, so show up, be vulnerable, practice gratitude, be a badass, and most importantly, enjoy the ride. Welcome to your journey.